Why, hello everybody. Today we're going to do another table talk reply. Today is about slow players. So, I think I'll be the first to admit I am a slow player. That's right. But the thing is, I know it, and therefore I actively do things to compensate for that. For example, if you've seen my last video, I actually talk about phone apps, and my favorite one is an unofficial Spacehawk app called Space Clock. And it has a timer with a beep sound, beep countdown from 10 seconds and triple beeps when time's over. And what I always say is I would take it out, especially for new groups, and I would say that this 30-second clock applies to me depending on the game. And when the beeps come out, that means the 3 beeps, when it gets to 0, my turn is over regardless. And the important part, it applies to no one. It just gives me a reminder that I have to plan my turns out better and don't get into any analysis paralysis problems and all that. But actually there's a benefit to that, because what happens is that most normal people, they would have a sense of fairness. And if you are applying a 30-second clock on yourself, most of the other people will definitely apply it to themselves. Like, they might not exactly keep it to 30 seconds, let's say for like Carcassonne, but definitely they won't take much longer. So what happens is that by doing that and applying it to myself to deal with my problems, it actually makes the game faster. And also the thing is that the timer countdown with the sounds, like, toot toot toot, with the last 10 seconds. If you're comfortable with a person, it actually adds a lot of tension, because users can say like, what are you gonna do with the last 10 seconds, And true story, 2 days ago I was playing Carcassonne, and the last 10 seconds, I had 2 seconds left, and I just put the towel down, and I actually scored my opponent 4 points. And we just laughed it off. But definitely, you see, this not only it speeds up the game, but also it adds a new flavor and tension to the game. Now, for James, though, when it comes to the point, I'm not saying that his friend is the slow player. What I'm going to describe. But an important point is, most of the time when you get to the point where you would ask this question, the person is probably the type of game player that doesn't really care about other players. I mean, we all met the game player who, like, as long as he enjoys the game, he doesn't care what everybody else is feeling at the table. And I got a true story of this. I used to play poker full time, and there was hundreds to thousands of dollars on the table sometime. And there was this particular host who would, like Rodney said, all the rules apply to everybody except him. And it was costing quite a bit of money, because he would, every time something huge came out, it involved a lot of money, he would say suddenly the rules didn't apply to him. He was like, it's a honest mistake, so he would take it back. With people like that, especially even for board games, you just had to put your foot down, and even at the cost of him taking offense, you have to take him to a corner and talk to him. And like with what happened with me, it didn't get better. You just had to put your foot down and say, I'm not going to play with this person anymore. You just had to put your foot down, because you have a finite life. And I really doubt anybody would want to spend a limited amount of time playing a great game with someone they don't like. So if the problem can't be solved after you talk to the person face to face, if this is your situation, I'm not saying it is, you just have to put your foot down and either kick the person out of the group, or if you can't, and then it's not a choice, then you have no choice but to play with him and deal with it, because you have given yourself basically no choice other than to deal with him on a daily basis, or weekly basis maybe. So it really depends on the choices that you have. My one is either the clock that applies to you only, or to everybody, make it fair, or you have to put your foot down and make a stand. So that is my view for Table Talk. And again, Rodney, thanks for doing all these great videos and allowing us to express our opinions too. Thank you very much. Until next word.